6:30 in the morning, and where we're at, it's 9:30 in the morning in the Philippines. It's 10:30 in Japan, and it's some number wherever you are. So welcome to the successmoneyfoundation.org. We're a nonprofit. Our goal is to help you have a better life. Now, I want to introduce my good friend, Mr. Kurt Mortensen. He's going to be teaching part of the Academy for Creative Enterprises business classes. And so he's going to pop up here. So Kurt, just shake it and shake you. Are you awake? If you are, let's go ahead and start, and I will let you kick it off. We're going to be talking about small businesses. Step number one, make more money. You do that with your job and your small business. All right, take it away, Kurt.
All right, you're here. Lesson 8. Start now. That's the goal. We're going to be shifting gears a little bit today, but we want to make sure you're developing good habits that enable success. You're doing the homework. You're changing your mindset. You're learning the skills you should have learned a long time ago to take care of yourself, your family, the future. It's all starting now. Remember, a little bit at a time. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. These are skills that are vital to your success. Doesn't matter where you are, where you live, what the opportunities are. We're going to help you create your own opportunities, learn the skills, understand the habits of successful people. So let's go with starting out a profit. As it says in 1 Timothy 4:15, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. What is that saying? This is the Apostle Paul's letter to Timothy, where he encourages Timothy to devote himself fully. This verse is from the Apostle Paul's letter to Timothy, where he encouraged Timothy to be more devoted to himself, to his personal growth, to reflect on the teaching and practices that have been shared with him, urging him to be diligent, focused, and dedicated to his responsibilities. He wanted Timothy's progress to be visible to others, and others could see his commitment and his leadership. I mean, the takeaway here is be diligent. And that's just another word for persistence. Paul emphasizes the importance of hard work and persistence in pursuing one's goals, whatever they are. So the objective here is students will establish positive habits that help them use their time effectively, enabling them to take steps towards building an income-generating activity that generates a profit. So we have to develop positive income-producing habits and use our time more effectively. Now think about your habits. You have either positive habits that are taking you towards your goal, what you want to accomplish, and you have negative ones that are holding you back. We all have these different types of habits, and we're going to analyze those today to see which ones we want to keep, which ones we want to delete, and which ones we want to add to your arsenal of becoming better, more successful. The challenge for many people as they pursue their goals is accessing that willpower or that self-discipline. Self-discipline is an interesting science. It's part of success. You got to do the things you don't want to do, even when you don't feel like doing them. That's part of self-discipline. That's why we do these things. We need that willpower. We fail because we lose this discipline. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have a goal to eat healthy. All right. And ask yourself, think about this, look around you, or even your personal life. When do most people fail? Do they fail in the morning? No. In the afternoons? Not usually. It's usually at night. And you got to ask yourself, why is that? Well, it's because your self-discipline, your willpower is like a battery, right? Assuming you've had a good night's sleep, your self-discipline battery's fully charged. You can say no to the pastries, to the donuts, to the bagel, to the bread. You're doing really well. But every time you say no, every time you resist, that self-discipline battery starts to drain and drain and drain. And by the late afternoon, evening, it's completely drained. You don't care anymore. You go home and eat the whole thing of ice cream. Or whatever it is, everyone's been through that. Every time you resist, your willpower diminishes, your self-discipline erodes away. So unsuccessful people have no idea this is happening and they fail. Successful people know, whoa, the self-discipline battery is drained. I need to recharge it. So let's talk about this because you have to have a game plan here. First of all, let's talk about other things that drain your willpower, self-discipline battery. Now, resistance, failure, negative emotion like anger, frustration, resentment, being around negative people, lack of sleep, low blood sugar. We could go on and on. You know the type of things that'll do it. So you have to have a game plan. When you feel it, how do you recharge it? And everyone's different here. Some people will pray, some will meditate, some will exercise, some people will take a walk in the sun, some will take a nap, some people will watch something funny, some people will call the people that love them, that will give them that boost. You can look at your vision board, your vision statement. You can watch something funny. There are a variety of things you can do. You play with children. Those are things that you could do, but you have to have a game plan. I don't care what it is, but you have to decide what that game plan is going to be. So no matter who we are, whether president of a country, the CEO of a company, or a local farmer, we all have the same 24 hours a day. It's equal. Every human has 24 hours a day. That's why they say time is more important than money. You can make more money, get more money, create that income-generating activity, but you can't get more time. We all have the same amount of time, but why is it successful people are accomplishing more, achieving more in the same amount of time? So how we plan, manage, and use those 24 hours a day determines the success we achieve in life, especially as it relates to our families and our income-generating activities. Therefore, we need to learn how to use our time effectively. But how can we do that? Well, it's a combination of what we're talking about today, habits and managing your time. So how do we do that? The answer is simple. We need to develop good habits. We all have habits or ways of doing things that are so automatic for us that we do not even think about them. And that's what your brain loves. Automatic, easy things. Don't have to think about it. Take the easiest, simplest path. That's what your brain likes. That's why it lives and loves to live in that comfort zone we've been talking about. We get into this autopilot. We just do it. We're not sure why we take the same route, why we do this, why we have a challenge for this. We just don't have to think about it. But now we have to think about these habits. Are they good, helping you out, getting you closer to your goal, or are they bad, pulling you down and hurting you and stopping you from getting your goals? What we do when we first wake up in the morning, how we tie our shoes or brush our hair, how we start the workday, how we speak to our loved ones, and what we do before going to bed are all examples of habits. The key thing here, and I kind of want you to think about this, you got to be careful when you want to change your habits. You don't want to just stop a habit. If there's something you know you want to stop, replace it with something else. If you're eating a bowl of ice cream every night at 10 p.m., that's probably not too healthy. It's harder for most just to stop and not do it. Replace it with what? Something healthy. Yogurt, vegetables, fruit, something a little bit different. It's much easier on the brain to replace a habit than just to stop a habit completely. The list could be endless when you talk about your habits. In fact, the majority of what we do each day is the result of habits. These habits can either help us or hurt us, as good habits lead us to use our time effectively, and bad habits prevent us from using our time effectively. Now, we talked about they help or hurt closer or farther to our goals. To better understand how a habit works, think of a river or irrigation ditch. Both a riverbed and an irrigation ditch form a channel that directs the flow of water. Once created, the channel leads the water to follow the same course every single time without fail. In order to reroute the water, a person would have to create a new channel that flows to where they desire. A habit operates on a similar principle. It's like an irrigation ditch in our brains. Once well established, a habit becomes a mental channel that leads us to perform an action or behavior the same way every time. When an automatic action becomes a habit, it becomes automatic and easy for us to do. We don't have to think about it. Just as it is easy for water to flow through a ditch in the same direction every time. However, this can be both good and bad depending upon if the habits we have acquired lead us to use our time effectively or not. Through Start Now, we want to learn to form good habits that will ensure we use our time effectively, as this will assist in achieving as much success as possible. So that's what you're thinking about, and it will be part of your homework, is to identify the current habits you have, good and bad, and what you want to change or replace it with. Some have said it takes 21 days of doing the same thing every day to establish a habit. That means it requires persistent effort on our part to dig channels in our minds for good habits and remove the ditches from the bad habits. Now, is it really 21 days? Well, it's a really good start. That's what starts the habit, but you need to keep continuing to dig those channels to make that new habit easy and automatic. This is going to require change. Even moving out of our comfort zone, it won't be easy, but the effort is worth it. Good habits will help us start profitable income-generating activities and businesses that will improve our family's quality of life. So what are those habits? Can you identify those? The challenge for most people, it just takes time for bad habits to show up. I mean, you didn't get in debt overnight. It probably took years to get deep in debt. You didn't get overweight overnight. It took you years to get deep in debt. I mean, think about it. It takes time for habits to show up. You could eat a burger and you didn't see any weight gain. You didn't see any health problems, but you eat a burger every day for 10 years, you're going to have heart issues, weight issues, cholesterol issues. Imagine if you had a burger, or let's say French fries. You had a burger and French fries, you put it on your plate. Let's say every time you took a bite of that burger, you felt your stomach go, got a little bigger. Maybe ate some French fries and your rear end got a little bigger. What if the consequences of your habits were instant? It would be much easier to change, but you've been doing it for so many years, it has just become a habit and part of your life. In fact, think about this. An M&M, a peanut M&M, one of my favorites. Peanut M&M has around 4 calories. All right. So let's say you ate one peanut M&M over the calories you were supposed to eat that day. Just one peanut M, just 4 calories extra a day. Probably gaining around a pound a year over 20 years. That's 20 pounds for one peanut M&M. Something to think about as we are starting to adjust, change, or replace our habits. Again, the purpose of this course is to teach the skills necessary to establish an income stream, not so we never have to work again, but so we can increase our income and thus reach self-reliance. What are the traits of the millionaires, the successful people around you? What are those million-dollar habits, those successful habits? Look around you, the people locally. What are they doing that's different than you? Are they sleeping less, reading more, getting up earlier, creating more contacts, improved their mindset? These are things to start looking for to look at the successful people around you. Remember, success is an open book test. The answers are there. And look around you locally to what those answers are, things that you can adjust and change or replace with your habits. So as we talk about self-reliance, in order to do that, each person needs to make correct decisions and establish habits that will assist in creating income-generating activities. We call some of these habit rules of thumb. We'll get into that later. Remember, you want to be successful, you want to be a millionaire, whatever it is. You want to get out of poverty. Let's talk about just being successful. You look at successful people, the answers are there. You start thinking, acting, and doing what they do. Do what they do. Or on the flip side, look at failures. What are they doing that you shouldn't be doing? How much TV are they watching? How much are they drinking? How much are they eating? Where are they spending their time? Where are they wasting their time? So look at the failures that aren't accomplishing anything and do the opposite. You can learn from them. That's also part of understanding habits. And that's why we need to talk about what are those million-dollar habits. We call them successful habits. And Thomas Corley spent years researching the daily habits of successful people, self-made millionaires. What did they have in common? A couple of things I want to talk about. That people that are successful, I mean, these are self-made millionaires. These aren't people that won the lottery or had an inheritance or grew up in a situation where they were guaranteed to be successful. These are self-made people. And it doesn't matter if it's a millionaire or whatever your income goal is, it's the same. So you look at successful people. First of all, they find and check in with their mentors. They have a mentor. See, a mentor puts you on the fast track to wealth accumulation. And you should have coaches or mentors. And there's no reason you can't mentor somebody where you're really good at and they could mentor you on something you need help with. You'll be surprised how many people will mentor you, will help you, will answer your questions that will hold you accountable. Mentors have been there, done that. They teach you what to do and what not to do. They share with you valuable life lessons they learned from their mentors or from the School of Hard Knocks. It just makes it faster. You're thinking, why would people mentor me? Why wouldn't they? They were mentored. They're giving back. They're helping out. Look at the Success and Money Foundation, teaching the skills, working out. They are mentoring you to become better and improve. And so look at some of these habits, some of the areas you need to improve, and you can find a mentor. In fact, successful people are very positive. I mean, you can't have long-term success without a positive mental outlook. And he found in his research that positivity was the key to a self-made millionaire. And he also talks about what we've talked about, that most people are unaware of their thoughts. And he explains if you stop to listen to your thoughts, be aware of them, you'll find out most of them are negative. What we've talked about. Being aware is the key. And what we want you to do as we make the world a better place, to help others succeed. Helping other success-minded people move forward, achieving their goals. You know what Zig Ziglar says, the more people you help achieve their goals, the more people you help achieve your goals. So focus on those that are like-minded, pursuing success, are optimistic, and help them succeed, and they're going to help you succeed. But the biggest one that I've noticed and he noticed is they read consistently. They have a personal development program. It's interesting that the average CEO reads 6 books a month. Harvard did a study and found that those that are reading and learning and growing every day are more optimistic. They're more enthusiastic about where they're going, what they're going to accomplish. But those who don't learn and grow every day become very negative, pessimistic, and doubtful. You've got to learn and grow every day. It does something magical to your optimism, to your brain, to your skills. You need to read all the time. All leaders are readers. If you want to be a leader in the future, you've got to learn how to read. And it's not just reading. It could be a podcast. It could be the successandmoneyfoundation.org. It could be an audio book. Any of those things will do. So try to spend at least 30 minutes a day. And after a few years, you'll become a national authority in what you're studying and what you're doing. And here's the big key. Every problem you're going to face in life, every problem you're going to face in business, someone's already faced it, overcome it, and has written a book about it. And here's the thing. I know you're smart enough to figure it out on your own. I know you can, but why spend 2 years when you can read the book in 2 weeks and have a solution to your problem? Consistently work on yourself every day. So as you look at these again, success is no book test. This is what they do. So you decide what your good habits are, your bad habits are, what you need to change. So what is your homework? Identify the current habits you have, both good and bad, and the ones you want to change, and how you're going to change it, and what you're going to replace it with. So I want you to spend some time thinking about these habits. Make a list of them on your phone, in a journal, on a whiteboard, and mark the ones you want to keep and the ones you want to change. Number 2, how are you going to recharge that self-discipline, that willpower battery? Come up with a game plan. We're all different. A, be aware. I'm drained. I don't feel like doing it. Okay. Again, are you going to exercise? Are you going to take a nap? You're going to play with kids? Are you going to look at your vision board, talk to somebody optimistic, go for a walk, take a little sunshine, meditate, pray, eat something healthy? Whatever it is, you decide what works for you. We're all a little bit different here, but we could all do things that'll make a big difference. It could be doing something that you're good at. It could be a 5-minute break and look at pictures of your children, why you're working so hard, why you're doing it. And when it happens, you just do it instantly. There's a great fable about developing good habits. The crow and the pitcher. It was a hot day. A thirsty crow found a pitcher of water with just a small amount of liquid of water at the bottom. However, the water was too low for the crow to reach. Instead of giving up and say, it won't work, why try? The crow came up with a plan and began dropping pebbles, little rocks, into the pitcher one by one. Slowly the water rose until it was within reach, and the crow could drink and quench its thirst. The key here is small, consistent efforts. You don't look at the situation like, I don't know what to do, why try? It's not going to happen. Other people have walked away. Just small, consistent results. Look for other solutions and develop good habits. Just like the crow raised the water level by dropping pebbles, good habits are formed by taking small, repetitive actions every day. So the fable encourages patience, creativity, perseverance, and developing the right habits. Even those small steps can overcome challenges when done with persistence. Change doesn't happen all at once, but through steady, intentional action while you're focusing on your goal. So there's your homework. Make sure you do it. Stay focused. You've got this. You can do this. We are rooting for you. Your family's rooting for you. Your future posterity's rooting for you. You can do this. You can make the changes. And this is the next step. Do your homework. Focus on it. Make sure you're honest with yourself. Identify those habits. How are you going to recharge your self-discipline battery? And we'll meet on the next course. So do it, make it happen, make the changes, improve your habits, and go out and make the world a better place.
Thanks, Kurt. And Kurt is the instructor for us for the Academy for Creative Enterprise. And you can earn stock by simply going through your small business class. Step number 1, make more money. You got to learn how to make more money with your job, and you need a small business. You need both of those. You're going to make money with both of those. You study successful people, you solve bigger problems, and you add more value. That's how you make step number 1 work. So if you want to earn some stock by simply going to his class, simply go to Start and Home and Start, go down to number 2, which is Start Worldwide, and then go down to the Academy for Creative Enterprises. We call it ACE Business Classes, and get going through those classes. So those classes are up and running, and you can earn stock by simply doing so. Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for making a difference. Get those businesses going. You're going to learn, earn, and return. And when you start earning some money, I'm going to ask you to give some back to the foundation. It doesn't go to me. It's not going in my pocket. We want to be able to take that and hand it out for additional financial rewards. We're a nonprofit educational foundation. We've given out money to thousands and thousands and thousands of people to help them get started. But we're going to ask you, as you start earning money, is to start sending some back